I'd like to talk to you about the junk removal business. The junk removal business from a different angle than a lot of the junk removal companies that I see going out there. My son and I got into the junk removal business, and we realized pretty quickly that there's just not a huge amount of money in the junk removal business. But what we did also realize is that there's a lot of money in the junk that's in the junk removal business. So we've taken a little bit different approach to the junk removal business, and we have been able to take our business and grow it from one truck and one trailer, and we're running 42 trucks and 37 trailers at this point. So we do junk removal and demolition at this point. The junk removal business ended up being a good segue into the demolition business. We still kept the nuts and the bolts of the junk removal business in the middle of our demolition business. So what I mean by that is we take a completely different approach to junk removal and also demolition. So in our minds, or in our underlying purpose of our business, is we want to make money when we're coming and when we're going. What I mean by that is we make money doing the job, but then we work a deal out with the customers, and we say, look, you got some stuff here that's got some value. What we'll do is we'll give you a little bit better price on your demo or your junk removal, and in exchange for that, we want all this stuff. So a lot of times we're getting kitchens and baths, sub-zero refrigerators, wolf ovens, generators, and boat trailers. I could go on for days and days. So we basically built a business from this. So we've been doing this since 2010 in a big way in Florida. We've done everything from driving around on the street and picking up people's unwanted furniture and stuff, to going and bidding on storage units. We've bought estates, every different version that you can possibly think of. We did a bunch of it. So fast forward to now. We're a very successful company. We run a lot of crews here. I have very little competition. Our competition it's just hard to compete with us because we go in and we underprice everything because we're able to resell stuff. So we'll come in and we'll give them a price, and then we'll give them a different price if we get all the stuff that's left over. Now we're working in a pretty healthy, wealthy marketplace. We're working in Naples, Florida, the majority of the time. Either Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, Bonita Springs, all these areas are pretty wealthy. Frequently we'll go into situations where people have perfectly good stuff. They don't have much space. That's the rule in Florida. There's no basements here, so you have a very limited amount of places to put stuff, unless you want to fill your garage up and not use your garage, and even then it's a limited amount of space. So people, they'll come from up north, they'll store their stuff for 2 or 3 years, or keep it in a storage unit for 2 or 3 years, and then they just want to get rid of it because they're sick and tired of paying storage fees on stuff that they don't want to mess around with putting on Craigslist or doing a yard sale or doing any other things. So the other thing that works in our favor and is kind of a negative is the charities. It's not really negative for us, but it's a negative for the marketplace. The charities get so much unbelievably incredible stuff that they basically walk in, they'll set up an appointment with you. You might have to wait 2 or 3 weeks or a month to get the appointment. They'll show up, they'll walk through, and they'll say, we'll take this and this and this and this and this, and all the rest of the stuff you got to get rid of on your own. So that's where we come into play. Well, let's say I'm bidding out a job, and let's say it's 1-800-JUNK. They might be $1,700 on something. I might be $300 on the same job, because I'm going to take all that stuff and I'm going to resell it. I'm going to bring it back to my warehouse. I have a staff of 5 at this point that all they do is clean up the stuff we bring back, put it on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, whichever is appropriate, and we sell that stuff. So we give them a good deal, we get a good deal, we turn around and give a good deal. So at any given time, my warehouse has got about, I think, 24 Connex boxes, and they're full of stuff and they're lighted. And then I have a warehouse building that's about 7,000 or 8,000 square feet. We probably got somewhere around 20,000 square foot between inside and outside. And we sell an amazing amount of kitchen cabinet sets every year, refrigerators, sub-zero refrigerators, fancy stuff, every kind of furniture you can imagine. So imagine this, you show up You walk into a junk removal and they say, you know, this is all the stuff we got. And you say, okay, here's your price. A lot of times they're shocked. So then I say, well, this is why, and we're going to resell it, and so on and so forth. Now you'd think they're going, oh boy, you're getting over on me or whatever. Well, and I had that fear too early on. But the truth of the matter is if you're up front with people and explain to them what you're doing, most of the people, they don't want this stuff to go to the dump. They don't want it to be put into a dumpster and taken somewhere and dumped into a pile of garbage. They just don't. They'd rather it get some use out of it. So us working a deal this way with people has worked out very, very good for us. I've been noticing, been bouncing around here on YouTube and looking at the different guys doing different things. And I've always thought that the junk removal business really didn't have a lot of money in it. And I still have that opinion. I don't think there's a lot of money in the junk removal business mainstream. Now, getting corporate accounts and doing stuff like that, yeah, you probably could do pretty good with it. I don't know. I've never done it that way. I've always had the opinion that we wanted to work for ourselves and not be beholden to someone else. This is what we do. So we'll come in, bid the job out. This is your price. This is your price if we get and keep everything. Let's say I'm doing a demo. I'm taking out the tile, the kitchens, the baths, whatever remaining furniture, which is very normal in our marketplace. We're trusted to work in these high-rise condos and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll say, let's say it's a $10,000 job. Just for ease of simplicity, I might say, okay, I'll do the job for $2,000 less. Okay. But here's what I want: the couch in the living room and all the furniture left in the one bedroom, the chandeliers, and we want the shower doors, and we want all this stuff, and we'll give you a price break on your demo for that. In return for that, we're going to do a good job for you. When you're done, we're hoping you'll give us a 5-star Google review, because we're going to call you up and say, hey, come look at your job. Let's make sure we didn't forget anything, you didn't forget anything, and that it's done completely. It puts the pressure on the homeowners to make sure that they tell us everything, and it puts the pressure on our crews to make sure everything gets done, because they're going to get graded at the very end of the job. Works out really well for everybody. With that in mind, we pay more than most of our competitors, and we are fiercely competitive. So we do everything from junk removal, concrete cutting, complete demolitions on houses. We started our business out. Basically, a lot of the stuff what we did is we were noticing they would take these entire households and just empty them out and just put them right on the curb. So we got over our shyness because we didn't want to work for somebody else, and we'd go over there with our truck and trailer. And believe me, they were hoopties back then. And then what we would do is we would pick all that stuff up. We'd put a certain amount of it on eBay, a certain amount of it on Craigslist. I'd have yard sales with the rest of it. And that's how we supported ourselves. Then we got shocked by how much stuff we were able to get and how good we could get at this. Bought a truck and paid cash for it. Didn't have much of a choice. My credit was shot. And then we bought a dump trailer, paid cash for that. And then we did a little bit more. Dump trailer meant we didn't have to hand load and hand unload. So we did the scrap metal as well. So I'd put all the scrap metal off to the side until we got enough of it. And then I would go out and scrap everything out and sort it out. And it's amazing how much money you can make off of scrap if you know the rules. So between scrap metal and junk removal, we built a pretty good sized demo business. That's what this channel is all about. It's primarily about the things that we find, and we find some crazy stuff. Just got finished doing a grocery store, and there were maybe 50 coolers left, and we went in there. They had already evacuated the Freon. So we came in there with my Bobcat and busted all the windows out and took the cores out of them. Not a huge amount of money in that stuff, but we did get scanners and stuff like that off of the checkout stations, and we got all these cameras that are worth, about $100 a piece. And that's just a kind of a small junk removal, running in harmony with a grocery store demolition. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe and leave us a like. I will see you on the next video.